Bell. Hey, speaking of famous Teds, take a look to your left. It's our first celebrity sighting. Is that a martini? Looks like he's celebrating. Maybe you got a development deal. These bungalows on your left house production offices for writers, directors, and producers who currently have development deals for the studio. Let's say I have an idea for a movie, or maybe I have a script. My play is to pitch it to the studio in the hopes of getting funding. If I get it, then I'm in development. After that comes pre-production. That's when the cast and the director are locked in, and all the schedules are made. Then production itself, the cameras start rolling. It's the most expensive part about making a movie production, and yet the shortest in terms of time. Then it's post-production. That's when all the editing is done. The soundtrack is laid in, all the visual effects and titles. Then all we have to do is go to a red carpet premiere. But each year the studio receives literally thousands of pitches. And out of all of those, less than 100 get development deals. And out of those, only about a dozen are actually made into movies. So take it from me. Sometimes it feels a little bit like trying to push King Kong up a flight of stairs. Check out Bungalow 5195 coming up on the left. That used to be the office of the incomparable Alfred Hitchcock. That's his profile painted next to the front door. Hitchcock was known as the master of suspense for such classic thrillers as Vertigo, Rear Window, The Birds, and Psycho. But he was also the king of cameos. See if you can pick him out in these clips.
My name is Alfred Hitchcock. We are going massive. See the
Now, folks, over here on your left, two brand new high-tech sound stages. This is where NBC and Jennifer Lopez's new dance competition series, World of Dance, is in production. Features a panel of expert judges, including Lopez, Derek Huff, and Neo. And the prize? $1 million. If I only had rhythm. All right, we've crossed into the backlot now, where the world is literally just around the corner. We shoot the big stuff out here, exterior scenes on a grand scale. Now, movies are based on illusions, and these metropolitan sets are a great example of just that. They may appear to be built out of brick and stone, but they're actually made of foam rubber and fiberglass over metal and wood frames. We call these sets facades, which is a French word that means false front, and they're merely the fronts and sides of buildings. They're built that way because we only bother building what the camera can see, and we reuse them over and over again, each time changing them just a bit so you don't recognize them from one production to the next. Over here on your right is Brownstone Street. That was home to Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty.
Raise the door! I'm in the shower! Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. Great. B-E-A-U.
All right. I'm sure many of you are going to recognize the area we're turning into now. I'd like to welcome you all to Courthouse Square, otherwise known as Hill Valley, from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox. That clock tower, or the City Hall facade over here on your left, is the clock tower from Back to the Future.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up there, the clock tower on that lead. It was lead about that wide. And I was standing inside, looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought, there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand all that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Oh.
Now, folks, if that clock tower looks a little different than the one in the movie, it's because when the producer of Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, came out here with his kids to show them where he was going to shoot his new show, the kids looked up at the clock tower and said, "Hey, Back to the Future." And he thought, okay, well, if this is going to be Grandview for Ghost Whisperer, I guess I better change it a bit. So that's actually a facade in front of a facade. It's a double facade, if you will. Now, this was also Macon, Alabama for To Kill a Mockingbird, for which Gregory Peck earned an Academy Award.
Ayun.
And Baltimore, New York for Hairspray Live.
Like a city, huh?
Uh-huh. Galing, no?
As we round this corner, take a look to your left. That facade with the amber light posts is the bank where Clint Eastwood foiled a bank robbery in the first Dirty Harry movie, where he said to one of the robbers, "You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?" And even though Dirty Harry is set in San Francisco, we call this New York Street. It comes complete with its own Park Terrace Hotel, its own theater district, and its own Macy's. But we can't go to New York without somebody who knows the town to show us around. So, once again, here's Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. It's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, recently shot on this street, American Ninja Warrior and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, the 8th installment of the most successful franchise in Universal's history, the Fast and the Furious films. This one's The Fate of the Furious, with all the usual suspects, and Charlize Theron joining the cast as well. That'll be in theaters on October 14th. And the USA series Colony, starring Josh Holloway and Sarah Wayne Callies. Now folks, in 2008 we embarked on a vast remodeling of our Metropolitan set, so what you're looking at now is really the largest set reconstruction project in the history of Hollywood. Very proud of these new sets. In the old days, when we wanted to shoot a scene like, let's say that one from Bruce Almighty we watched with Jim Carrey running out of his apartment with the dog, we'd have to shoot the interior footage, Jim in his apartment, back at the sound stages we drove past earlier, then pack the cast and crew up, bring them all the way out here and shoot the exterior footage, Jim running out into the street out here on our Metropolitan sets. But many of these new sets feature an open interior space with a steel infrastructure. So we can actually follow an actor from the inside right out.